Berserkers hold a unique and almost paradoxical place within the Locust Horde. On one hand, they are living weapons, massive, blind, unstoppable creatures designed to hunt humans through sound and scent alone. On the other hand, they are the biological core of Locust survival, since they are the primary reproductive females of the species. This dual role makes them both feared and indispensable, not just by humans, but by the Locusts themselves. Their importance stems from three main factors. First, their sheer destructive power makes them perfect shock troops during major assaults. A single berserker can break defensive lines, wipe out entrenched squads, and turn fortified structures into rubble just by charging blindly. Second, because Locust populations depend on them for reproduction, the Horde considers them long-term strategic assets, not expendable beasts. And third, their heightened senses allow them to track survivors and penetrate strongholds that normal Locust troops might never locate. Another reason Berserkers are so rarely seen is because their numbers are extremely limited. Unlike drones or boomers, they cannot be mass-bred or manufactured. Each Berserker must be protected, chained, transported with escorts, and handled by specially trained Locust units. Even in the largest battles, you almost never saw more than one or two deployed. But perhaps the greatest blow to their presence on the battlefield came with the rise of the Lambent pandemic. Berserkers were not immune to emulsion infection, and when they turned Lambent, the consequences were catastrophic. A Lambent Berserker was far more unstable, far more explosive, and far more uncontrollable than any other corrupted Locust. Instead of becoming weapons, they became walking disasters, endangering Locust and humans alike. The Lambent Berserker from Gears of War 3 proved exactly how dangerous this mutation could become: faster, stronger, screaming with volatile energy, and capable of massive destruction far beyond a normal Berserker. Because of this, once the Lambent threat intensified, the Locust shifted strategies. They began pulling Berserkers deeper underground, hiding and safeguarding the few remaining uninfected females. Deploying them became too risky, losing one meant losing a part of their future as a species. The Lambent plague didn't just thin their numbers, it forced the Horde into a protective stance bordering on desperation. By the time of Gears 2 and 3, this biological crisis explains why Berserkers almost vanished from the surface war. They were simply too rare, too valuable, and too vulnerable to corruption. For the Locust, the survival of their species depended on protecting the last remaining pure Berserkers at any cost. Berserkers ultimately represent the brutal biology of the Locust, powerful, irreplaceable, and deeply intertwined with their evolution. Their rarity, their reproductive role, and their susceptibility to Lambent infection made them one of the most important and most endangered pillars of Locust society. Hidden away, infected, or nearly extinct, their absence in later battles wasn't a coincidence. It was the price of a species fighting to stay alive.